and they cannot keep pretending that they do not feel this anymore. There is something heavy sitting in their chest, and it has been building quietly for months now. They want to see your face. They want to be in the same room as you, even if just for a little while. The energy around this reading is so full, so loaded. I felt it before I even laid a single card down. There is a pull here that does not simply go away, a gravitational thing, something neither of you fully controls. You feel it too. Do not lie to yourself. You have been feeling it and quietly wondering what it means. This person is not someone who reaches out easily, and yet here they are, reaching toward you anyway. That alone tells you something important. That alone should give you a real sense of how genuine this is. They sat with this feeling long enough, and eventually the feeling became too loud to ignore any further. Something pushed them over the edge, some quiet moment alone, some memory that surfaced when they least expected. They picked up their phone, they typed something honest, and that kind of openness is not nothing, not even close. It took them more than you might think, and we are going to spend this whole reading unpacking exactly why we open with the Two of Cups. And I want you to sit with this card, really take it in for a moment. The Two of Cups is about recognition, two souls looking at each other, and feeling that undeniable magnetic click. There is no pretending with this card, no strategy, no hidden agenda. It is just pure and honest connection. This card says the bond between you two was never casual. It always carried real weight and real meaning. They know that, they have always known that. And lately they cannot escape it no matter what they try. The moon appears next in this spread, and this card is deeply important, so stay close with me here. The moon is the card of what lives beneath the surface, the feelings that never quite get spoken aloud. This person has been carrying a tremendous amount of hidden emotion tucked away behind pride and distance. But the moon does not let things stay buried forever. It always finds a way to pull them up into the light. That is exactly what is happening now. The moon doing precisely what it has always done throughout time. Their feelings are surfacing at last, and no amount of distraction or silence is holding them back anymore. You may have noticed something shifting in their energy recently, a softness, a warmth, a reach toward you. That is the moon cracking open the walls they built, because the heart cannot deceive itself indefinitely. The star steps in after the moon, and this is one of the most beautiful cards to receive in a reading like this. The star carries hope, the quiet, persistent kind, the kind that does not burn loud, it just glows and remains. This person has been keeping a private hope about you alive, even without fully confessing it to themselves. They look at what you shared, or what you are beginning to grow toward, and they think maybe there is still something. Maybe the door is not fully closed. Maybe if they say something now, maybe things could open again between you two that maybe is so powerful, because it means they care enough to stay curious about what your answer might be. The Ace of Cups closes this first part, and it is the most fitting card that could possibly have landed here. The Ace of Cups is the heart-cracking wide open. It is the beginning of a completely new emotional chapter. It is raw, it is tender, it is a little frightening, and it is entirely genuine from the deepest place. For this person, sending that message, typing those words out, asking to meet you, that was their Ace of Cups moment. That was them choosing honesty over pride, choosing you over the comfort of staying safe and silent. Do not underestimate that, even if you feel complicated about it, even if you need time to sit with how you feel. They are bringing something brave to you right now, and every part of this reading is going to show you exactly what that is. This reading, I want to be clear, is not just about what they are feeling on the outside layer. We are going beneath all of that today. We are going to find what lives in the quieter, deeper places. Because the truth is what they typed in that message. It is only a fraction of what they actually feel. The rest of it, the bigger, fuller, messier version of it, that is what the cards are here to reveal for you. So breathe for a second, settle into this, and let's go find every piece of the truth together. There is a lot waiting for you in this reading today, and none of it is small. Now let's talk about you, because your energy in this reading, it is just as loud as theirs. You have been trying to stay composed, trying to keep yourself together about this whole situation. But inside, something stirred the moment you saw that message, something you were not fully prepared for. You thought you had done a decent job of moving on, or at least convincing yourself that you had. You had built a little routine around the absence of this person, and it was working, mostly. Then this message arrived, and something cracked open in you that you had been keeping very carefully sealed. The Four of Cups is the first card I pulled for your side, and it describes you so accurately here. The Four of Cups is someone sitting with their arms crossed, not fully tuned in, guarding their emotional energy. That has been you lately, a little withdrawn, a little reluctant to let anything new or risky get too close. You have had your reasons for that, real reasons, and the cards are not judging you for it even slightly. You pulled back because you got hurt, or because you felt unsteady, or because you simply needed to protect yourself. That is valid, and I want you to hear that clearly before we go any further into this. The Five of Cups follows, and this one shows that you have been carrying some grief around this connection. Not necessarily loud grief, not the kind that stops you in your tracks, but a quiet ache that lingers, a sense of what could have been, what you were building toward, what felt like it slipped through your hands. You have replayed certain moments, certain conversations, certain silences that you still do not fully understand. There are things left unsaid between you two, and you feel that weight. Even when you are not consciously thinking about it, the Empress comes in next, and I love this card for you because it speaks to something deeper in your nature. The Empress says you are someone who loves fully, who feels deeply, who gives with an open and generous heart. You are not someone who throws connections away easily, even when things get complicated or painful or messy. When you care about this person, you really care. And that feeling does not just switch off because time passes. Even if you have been trying to cool yourself down, even if you have been telling yourself to let it go, that love or whatever you want to call it, it did not leave. It just went quiet, waiting for permission to speak. The Knight of Cups lands here, and this card is so fitting for where you are emotionally right now. The Knight of Cups is a romantic, someone who feels things with great intensity, someone who is moved by connection. That is you in this situation, deeply moved, even if you are not showing it, even if you are playing it cool outwardly. When that message came in, the Knight of Cups in you woke up, that part of you that hopes and longs and wonders. You started imagining things, conversations you might have, what it would feel like to see them in person again. You caught yourself thinking about what you would say, how you would act, what energy you would bring into that room. That is not weakness. That is the Knight of Cups doing what it does, feeling everything fully and completely. The High Priestess is here for you too, and this card speaks to your intuition, your knowing. You already sense what this person's message means. You felt it before you even finished reading it. Deep down, this is not just a casual reach. There is weight behind it, and your gut confirmed it. Your intuition has been talking to you about this person for a while now, giving you quiet nudges. Pay attention to what your body does when you think about meeting them. That physical response is telling you something real. The Six of Cups closes your side of this reading, and it is the card of nostalgia, of shared history, of warmth. This card says you have beautiful memories with this person, specific ones that still make you feel something. There is a tenderness there, a fondness that never fully hardened into indifference no matter how much time passed. You remember the good, you remember what it felt like to be around them, and some part of you misses that deeply. That is the honest truth of where you are, not just confused, not just cautious, but also quietly, genuinely longing. You are not just trying to figure out what you want. You already know. You are just scared to admit it. And that fear, that hesitation, we are going to look at all of that very honestly in the parts that follow. The cards see you completely right now, the cautious version and the hopeful version, both living inside you. Both of those versions are valid, and this reading will honor them fully. Hold that. Sit with what just came up for you, because the next part is going to shift the lens entirely. Now we flip the lens completely because this part belongs entirely to them. This is their side of the story, their interior world, the version of events they have never fully said out loud. This person has been going through something privately, something that shifted the ground beneath them. They hit a wall somewhere along the way, and that wall made them start thinking about what actually matters. The King of Cups reversed opens their side of this reading, and it is a deeply revealing card to see here. The King of Cups reversed is someone who has been emotionally suppressed, someone sitting on a volcano of feeling. They present as composed to the world, as unbothered as someone who has it together on the outside. But underneath all of that composed exterior, there is a storm that has been circling for a very long time. They are not as okay as they appear, and they know that even if no one else around them does. This person has been masking, performing a version of fine that does not match what is actually living inside them. The Hermit comes in next, and this card tells me they have been spending a lot of time alone with their thoughts. Not by total choice, but because life became quieter for them. And in that quiet, you kept showing up. When the noise of daily life fell away, when distractions thinned out, your face came back to them. Your laugh, your presence, the specific texture of being around you, it all came back very clearly. The Hermit in this position says they have been doing a lot of internal searching, a lot of honest reckoning. They ask themselves some hard questions in those quiet moments. Things like, why can I not stop thinking about this person? Things like, what am I actually doing? And is what I have now truly better than what I let go of? Those questions got louder over time, and the silence kept amplifying them instead of making them softer. The Tower reversed appears next, and this is such an important card for understanding what triggered the outreach. The Tower reversed says something shifted in their life, not a dramatic explosion, but a quiet internal collapse. Something fell away, a plan, a relationship, a version of the future they had been counting on without realizing it. When that thing fell, the first name that came to their mind in that moment of vulnerability was yours. Not a random thought, not a passing thing, your name specifically, in the center of that quiet emergency that is not something that happens unless the connection has deep and genuine roots in them. The Devil reversed follows, and this card is about breaking free from patterns that have been holding them back. This person had been trapped in a cycle, maybe avoidance, maybe pride, maybe convincing themselves they were fine. The Devil reverse says that cycle is breaking now, the chain is snapping, they are choosing something different. Reaching out to you, that is the act of someone stepping out of a pattern, someone choosing truth over habit. They had told themselves a story about why they should not contact you, why it was better to stay quiet. That story stopped working, it stopped holding, and eventually they stopped believing it entirely. The Three of Wands lands here. And this card is about someone looking forward, scanning the horizon for something new. This person is looking ahead now, and in that vision of the future, they genuinely want you to be there. They are not just feeling nostalgic, they are actively imagining something with you, something real and forward-moving. They want to know if that future is possible. They want to look at you in person and feel what they feel. They need to know if what they carry for you is still mutual, if there is still something alive between you two. The Five of Wands reversed closes their side, and this tells me the inner conflict is finally dying down. They have been fighting with themselves about this for a long time, going back and forth in their own head. Should I reach out? Should I stay quiet? Is it too late? What if they do not want to hear from me? That internal war has exhausted them, and they made a decision to stop fighting and just be honest instead. The message they sent you, that was the white flag they waved at their own resistance. Finally, they chose honesty over strategy, movement over stagnation, and you over whatever was keeping them away. That is where they are right now, fully decided, a little nervous, waiting to see what you will do next. This is not them being bored or lonely in a general way. This is them missing you specifically and deeply. The cards on their side are clear. This person has done the inner work to get to this moment of honesty. They chose you on purpose with intention after a long and honest conversation with themselves about what they really want. Now we get into movement because this part is about what is actually about to happen next. The energy is shifting, something is changing between you two, and the cards are being very specific about it. This is not a reading about maybes and possibilities. This is a reading about things that are already in motion. The Chariot opens this section, and I could not have asked for a more fitting card to land here. The Chariot is forward motion. It is decisive energy. It is someone who has made up their mind and is moving. This person is not wavering anymore. They are not going back and forth. The decision has been made inside them. They are going to push for this meeting. They are going to find a way to make it happen if you allow it. The Chariot says they have harnessed everything they feel for you and turned it into direction, into momentum. This is not passive energy. This is someone actively steering towards you with intention and clarity. The next card is the Page of Wands, and this one is full of enthusiasm, full of that nervous, excited feeling. The Page of Wands is someone who is ready to initiate, ready to spark something, ready to begin a new adventure. This person is going to reach out again. If they have not already, they are going to follow through on this. They might suggest a specific place, a time, something low pressure on the surface, but loaded with meaning underneath. They want to create a setting where things feel natural, where the conversation can go wherever it needs to go, where neither of you has to perform, where you can just be in the same space and see what is still alive. The Eight of Wands follows, and this is one of the fastest moving cards in the entire deck. Pay attention. The Eight of Wands says things are about to accelerate. Communication is picking up. Energy is flying between you two. You may notice more contact coming from their direction, more presence, more little moments of connection. They are not going to let this thread go cold. They are going to keep it warm, keep it moving forward. The pace of this thing is about to shift, and it is going to happen more quickly than you might expect. The Wheel of Fortune turns up here, and this card always gives me chills when it appears in a reading like this. The Wheel of Fortune is a timing card. It is fate doing what fate does, bringing people back around to each other. It says the timing of this outreach is not accidental. It is not random. It is cosmically on purpose. You two are circling back to each other at exactly the moment you were always supposed to circle back. The wheel does not force anything, but it does create conditions, and right now the conditions are perfectly aligned. Something in the universe is saying, this is the window, this is the moment, pay attention to what is arriving. The Judgment card appears next, and this is a card of awakening, of rising, of a call you cannot ignore. Judgment says both of you are being called towards something here, a reckoning, a moment of real clarity. For them, the call is to be honest, to stop pretending they are fine without you, to reach and mean it. For you, the call is to stop hiding behind caution, to look at what you actually feel and honor it. Judgment does not allow avoidance, it rings the bell, and at some point you both have to answer it. The meeting they are asking for, it is part of that answer, it is part of what Judgment is pointing at. The Six of Swords closes this part of the reading, and I want you to really take this card in carefully. The Six of Swords is about leaving troubled waters, about moving away from what has been heavy and toward calmer ground. This card says what changes between you two is the atmosphere, the weight, the unspoken tension that has been sitting there. If this meeting happens, something releases, something that has been stuck for a long time finally begins to move. You both get the chance to breathe differently around each other, to see each other fresh, without all the old static. The Six of Swords promises smoother water ahead, not perfect, not without complexity, but genuinely calmer and more honest. What is about to change is the distance between you two, and this person is the one willing to close it first. They are not asking to meet you to stir things up or confuse you. They are asking because they want clarity too. They want to sit across from you, look at you properly, and finally say the things that have been stuck inside them. This meeting is not just a casual catch-up, it is a turning point. The cards are unanimous about that. Something between you two is about to shift in a real and lasting way, and it starts with you saying yes. The door is wide open right now, and on the other side of it, something genuinely worth walking toward is waiting. This part is the one I always feel most deeply because this is where the hidden truth lives. This is what they have never said to you directly, what they have carried quietly and kept completely to themselves. The things that live beneath the message, beneath the asking to meet, beneath all of it. The Lover's card opens this section, and it is almost overwhelming to see it land here in this position. The Lovers is not just about romance. It is about a deep soul-level choice, a recognition between two people. This card says you are not just someone they are fond of, you are someone they feel genuinely chosen by. There is a sense with this card that being around you feels like alignment, like things click into place. Like they can breathe more easily, like the noise in their head goes quiet, like something finally fits. They have never felt that specific feeling with anyone else, and that terrifies them a little, honestly, because it means you are not replaceable to them. You never were, and they are only now fully admitting that. The hidden confession here is that they tried to replace what you gave them and they could not do it. They tried to find it elsewhere, tried to convince themselves it was transferable, that it would show up again. It did not. And after long enough, that truth became impossible to keep explaining away or ignoring. The Three of Cups reversed appears next, and this card reveals something about what they lost when they lost you. The Three of Cups reversed is the absence of genuine joy, the kind that comes from being truly seen by another person. This person has been going through the motions, socially smiling in the right places, showing up where expected. But inside, there has been a flatness, a missing warmth, a sense that something essential has been absent, that warmth, that particular quality of feeling alive and light and seen. They associate that entirely with you. When they are around you, something in them wakes up, something that stays half asleep everywhere else. They miss that waking up feeling more than they have let themselves consciously acknowledge until recently. The hidden truth here is that your presence does something to them that they genuinely cannot manufacture elsewhere. Now here is where it gets more honest, more physical, because the cards are not shy about this part at all. The Ace of Wands appears, and this is the card of raw desire, of attraction that has not dimmed at all. This person is still deeply physically drawn to you, and that pull has not weakened with distance or time. They think about being near you, close to you, in the same room with you, and it stirs something in them. The thought of seeing your face, the way you move, the way you look when you are relaxed and just yourself, all of it lands on them heavily. It is not a soft or vague thing. It is a specific and real hunger. They have lain awake thinking about it, wondering what it would feel like to be close to you again. They want to be in your orbit. They want to feel your energy nearby. They want what only proximity to you gives them. The hidden physical confession is that they are drawn to you in a way that feels almost involuntary at this point. The Queen of Cups reversed follows, and this card exposes the emotional vulnerability they have been hiding from everyone. This person is not as strong and detached as they present. Inside, they are soft, longing, quietly aching. They want to be held emotionally. They want someone to really know them, and they feel that only with you, you have seen them in a way that most people never have, and they are starving for that quality of being known again. The hidden emotional confession is that they feel lonely in a way that only your presence seems to fix. Not lonely in a general sense, but specifically lonely for you, for the particular intimacy you two once shared. The Five of Cups reversed arrives, and this one is about something they have finally stopped denying to themselves. They regret how things went. They regret the silence, the distance, the choices that led to the space between you. They wish they had handled certain moments differently, said things sooner, been braver when it counted. That regret has been sitting with them, heavy and honest, and it is part of what finally pushed them to reach out. What they never said is this: you mattered more than they showed you, more than they let on at the time. They are trying to say it now, imperfectly and nervously, through the simplest question they could find. Can we meet? Those three words carry everything they have been unable to say for however long it has been. Every missed moment, every swallowed feeling, every time they almost reached out and pulled back at the last second. It is all folded into that question, and now you know exactly what it is really asking. We have reached the final part, and I want you to carry everything from this reading with you carefully. Because what the cards are showing for your near future, it is genuinely something worth being present for. The Sunday opens this closing section, and I felt something lift the moment it came out of the deck. The Sunday is clarity, it is warmth, it is the kind of light that burns away confusion and leaves only truth. This card says the fog that has been sitting between you two is about to clear, and what is underneath is good, not complicated, not painful, not heavy. Like before, it is genuinely warm and full of possibility. The Sunday in this position tells me that meeting this person, being in their presence, is going to feel right. Not perfect, not without nerves, but right in the way that only certain things feel right, deep in your body. You are going to look at them, and something in you is going to recognize something, and it will be undeniable. The near future here is brighter than the recent past has been, and this connection is a large part of why. The Ten of Pentacles appears next, and this is a card I do not take lightly in a reading about reunion. The Ten of Pentacles is about something lasting, something that has roots, something built to actually endure. This card says what you two are building toward is not fleeting. It is not just a moment of nostalgia. It has the potential to become something stable and real, something that grows and deepens over time. The universe is not bringing you back to each other for something temporary. The cards are clear about that. The advice from this card is to stop measuring this connection by what it was and start imagining what it could be. You have both grown since the last chapter. You have both learned things about yourselves, and that matters. What you build from here can be different from what came before. Better, more honest, more firmly grounded. The World card lands here, and I genuinely got chills when it appeared, because this card means completion. The World is the end of one full cycle, and the standing at the threshold of something entirely new. It says a chapter is closing for both of you, the chapter of distance and silence and missing each other. What begins next is a new chapter, one where the honesty comes first, where the walls are lower and the hearts are open. The World does not show up for small things. It shows up when something significant is arriving in your life. This reunion, this reaching toward each other, it is significant. The cards are not understating that. The advice from the World is to receive this with openness, to not shrink from what is being offered to you. You deserve to walk fully into what is waiting, not cautiously, not with one foot still in the past, but fully. The advice cards for you specifically are the Justice card and the Four of Wands, and they are so fitting together. Justice asks you to be fair to yourself, to weigh this situation honestly without letting old fear tip the scales. Do not punish what is happening now for what happened before. Give this the fair and clear-eyed look it deserves. You know what you feel. You know what this person means to you. And Justice says honor that truth, honestly. The Four of Wands is celebration. It is homecoming. It is the feeling of arriving somewhere that welcomes you. This card says that when you see this person, when you are in the same space again, it is going to feel like coming home. Not returning to the past, but arriving at something, a feeling of rightness, of belonging, of relief. Let yourself feel that without immediately pulling away from it. Let yourself arrive fully in that moment. The final card in this reading is the Ace of Pentacles, and it is the most grounding and hopeful note to close on. The Ace of Pentacles is a new beginning in the physical world, something tangible, something you can actually hold. It says what starts from this point has real substance. It is not just energy or feeling. It is something you can build. A real connection in real life with real moments, real conversations, real presence, all of it becoming possible again. The guidance from this entire reading is simple. Do not let fear make this decision for you. Your heart already knows what it wants. The cards confirmed what you feel in the quietest part of yourself. This person is reaching because they cannot stop, because you mean something to them that time has not erased. You mean something specific and irreplaceable to them, and somewhere inside you, you have always known that. So be brave, be honest, and trust that what is waiting on the other side of this moment is genuinely worth it. You are so loved, so wanted, and so worthy of everything that is making its way toward you right now. Take good care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one. Because what the cards are showing for your near future, it is genuinely something worth being present for. The Sunday opens this closing section, and I felt something lift the moment it came out of the deck. The Sunday is clarity, it is warmth, it is the kind of light that burns away confusion and leaves only truth. This card says the fog that has been sitting between you two is about to clear, and what is underneath is good, not complicated, not painful, not heavy. Like before, it is genuinely warm and full of possibility. The Sunday in this position tells me that meeting this person, being in their presence, is going to feel right. Not perfect, not without nerves, but right in the way that only certain things feel right, deep in your body. You are going to look at them, and something in you is going to recognize something, and it will be undeniable. The near future here is brighter than the recent past has been, and this connection is a large part of why. The Ten of Pentacles appears next, and this is a card I do not take lightly in a reading about reunion. The Ten of Pentacles is about something lasting, something that has roots, something built to actually endure. This card says what you two are building toward is not fleeting. It is not just a moment of nostalgia. It has the potential to become something stable and real, something that grows and deepens over time. The universe is not bringing you back to each other for something temporary. The cards are clear about that. The advice from this card is to stop measuring this connection by what it was and start imagining what it could be. You have both grown since the last chapter. You have both learned things about yourselves, and that matters. What you build from here can be different from what came before. Better, more honest, more firmly grounded. The World card lands here, and I genuinely got chills when it appeared, because this card means completion. The World is the end of one full cycle, and the standing at the threshold of something entirely new. It says a chapter is closing for both of you, the chapter of distance and silence and missing each other. What begins next is a new chapter, one where the honesty comes first, where the walls are lower and the hearts are open. The World does not show up for small things. It shows up when something significant is arriving in your life. This reunion, this reaching toward each other, it is significant. The cards are not understating that. The advice from the World is to receive this with openness, to not shrink from what is being offered to you. You deserve to walk fully into what is waiting, not cautiously, not with one foot still in the past, but fully. The advice cards for you specifically are the Justice card and the Four of Wands, and they are so fitting together. Justice asks you to be fair to yourself, to weigh this situation honestly without letting old fear tip the scales. Do not punish what is happening now for what happened before. Give this the fair and clear-eyed look it deserves. You know what you feel. You know what this person means to you. And Justice says honor that truth, honestly. The Four of Wands is celebration. It is homecoming. It is the feeling of arriving somewhere that welcomes you. This card says that when you see this person, when you are in the same space again, it is going to feel like coming home. Not returning to the past, but arriving at something, a feeling of rightness, of belonging, of relief. Let yourself feel that without immediately pulling away from it. Let yourself arrive fully in that moment. The final card in this reading is the Ace of Pentacles.